Hey, fifth grade, it's Mr. Rindo, and this is the Rindo Challenge for this week. So, you guys see clearly on the screen right now we have a trapezoid, and the reason we call that shape a trapezoid is because it is a quadrilateral that has exactly one set of parallel sides. And I highlighted those. You can see that one of the sides is blue and the other one is green. So, those two sides are parallel, they're going exactly the same direction. So, what we're talking about is how to find the area of a trapezoid. Now, here's what you've probably learned so far. What you've learned is that we can take a trapezoid like this and we can decompose it, which means we can split it up into smaller shapes that we're more familiar with. So, if I drew a line right here and then another line right here, we now see that we've taken this trapezoid and we've split it up into triangle A, and then rectangle B, and then triangle C. And from there, we can go ahead and find the area of each one of those shapes. Find the area of A, find the area of B, and find the area of C. So we know that already, or we've talked about that. So what I'm instead challenging you to do is something different. Because what I've actually put up on the board on top is this is the formula. This is the equation you can use every single time to find the area of a trapezoid. So to find the area of a trapezoid, you need to take A and B, add them together, multiply it times the height, and then divide it by 2. And before I go any further with that, I want to go ahead and clarify what A and B is and what the height is, because your challenge today is to figure out how in the world that formula even works. Because when I was a kid, my teacher just says, trust me, this works, but they never really showed me why or how. And that's my challenge for you guys today. So let me go ahead and clarify first. A and B are the two parallel sides, and sometimes people will call those the bases, or base 1 and base 2. So if I go ahead and label those right here, I'm going to go ahead and say that this right here is A, and then this one right here is B, okay? So that's A and B. The H stands for height, okay? So we want to talk about the height of this trapezoid. Now, you guys know that when you measure the height of anything, we don't do it on a slant, we don't do it diagonally, we go straight up and down. So really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and draw the height on this trapezoid. So I'll start right here and kind of go straight up to the top. So the height always goes from the one parallel side to the other, straight up and down like so. So that would be the height. And I can move it around, like I can move the height right here, or I could draw it right here, but it has to go perpendicular, straight up and down from the bottom parallel side to the top parallel side. So that right there, if I want to go ahead and label that, that right there would be the height of this trapezoid, okay? So what I'm telling you is that to find the area of this trapezoid, instead of splitting it up into triangles and rectangles, we could just take A and B, add them together, multiply them by the height, and then after that, divide by 2. And my challenge for you right now is to figure out, like, how in the world does that work? Why does that work for every single trapezoid that we will ever see? So pause the video, go ahead and work it out in a notebook, or maybe draw this trapezoid, or see if you can figure it out, because in about 2 seconds here, I'm going to go ahead and explain exactly how this does work. Okay. All right. Welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get some of these things out of the way really quickly. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add A and B. So I'm going to show you what that actually means. So we know real quick, I'm going to write this out here, that A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So A has a length of 10. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to figure out what B is. B is the top side, and that one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And so the formula says that the first thing I'm supposed to do is to add those together. So let me write that up. I'm going to write a 10 for A, and then a 5 for B. And it says add those together. Now, I want you to think literally about what that means when it says to take A and B and add them together. It means to combine them. So what I'm actually going to do with our picture is I'm going to take B, that top side right here, and I'm going to move it down here and combine it with A. trying to. Here we go. There. So now we have a longer side. When I take A and B and add them together, well, this is A and this is B, and now they've been combined. Okay. And I guess we could go ahead and we could label that right away. How long would A and B together be? Well, they would be 15. So when we combined A and B, now we have a length of 15 across the bottom like that. Our next step is to take that and multiply it times the height. And I'm going to go ahead, and we already drew the height on here. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the height, I'll label that across the top. The height is 6. So we're going to take the number 15 and we're going to multiply it times the height, which is 6, which might be kind of weird because you're wondering, like, why are we doing that? But I want to move that height. So I told you before, I can move it around. I can move it here or over here. I'm going to move it all the way over here, okay? And I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to label that height as 6, okay? So now think about what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to take 15 and 6, and we're supposed to multiply them together, right? And then after that, then we're supposed to divide it by 2, okay? Now, if you're looking at our picture, I hope it's making a little bit more sense. And I'm going to use my red pen to show you here, guys. If we are multiplying this bottom, which is 15, by 6 coming up here across the side, then what we are actually doing is finding the area of a rectangle. And I'm going to go ahead and go all the way across like so. There it is. So we are multiplying 15 times 6. We are finding the area of a very large rectangle that our trapezoid is inside of. And you can see that. And so real quick, if we do that, if we multiply 15 times 6, that's going to give us 90. So that tells us right now that rectangle has an area of 90, okay? Now, we know this trapezoid does not take up all 90 square units, but the reason we're dividing it by 2 is because that trapezoid is going to take up half of that space. And I'm literally going to prove it to you right now using my green pen. So if you guys look at this right now, you guys see that inside we have our trapezoid. I'm going to shade it in blue. So this is the trapezoid right here that we started with. But now you can see this trapezoid is inside of a rectangle, and we have 2 other pieces now. We have a triangle over here on the left side, and then we have another trapezoid over here on the right side. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do something with those pieces. I'm going to go ahead and use my green pen and put a ring around this triangle just like this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to rotate it around and put it right on top of that blue trapezoid. And now I'm going to come over here to this spot. I'm going to put a green ring around this trapezoid and put a ring around it. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate that. And then I'll slide it over. And what do we see? We see that when you take those 2 pieces and you reverse them like that, they end up being equal to the trapezoid. So ultimately what that means is that this trapezoid, the blue trapezoid, is taking up half of that rectangle, and then those other 2 pieces are taking up the other half of that rectangle. So the reason we're taking 90 and dividing it by 2 is because our trapezoid that we started with is taking up half of the space of the rectangle, which gives us 45. And don't forget our label, square units. So every formula, guys, that you will ever learn has some sort of mathematical meaning behind it. And if you start thinking about each step literally as to what's happening when you perform each step, the formula begins to make more sense. I hope you found this interesting. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine, because you can go and do what I told you to begin with. You can go ahead and take any trapezoid and decompose it into triangles and rectangles and use those to find the area as well. Hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you again next week.